lost it. I didn't do it.
Eric, you haven't had a practice yet since we've been
No, I
doing these
did.
classes. Huh?
I did have to practice yet. 2 lessons in a row.
Where is it? How could you have lost it? You've only been at home.
No, I didn't do the lesson of the practice.
Right, why?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Because I was lazy.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that you're being honest about it. However,
I'm muting.
do you have your quiz for history there with you? Somebody said that I put quiz 11. What's that?
Wait, in the new packet?
Right, in the new packet.
Oh, which one?
Well, it's just the history quiz.
History quiz?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it.
What does it say at the top?
This is
11A. I think I gave you the right quiz, but I named it incorrectly. So that's correct.
I have it too.
Yeah, it's actually 11B, so you can change that.
Okay.
So tell your friends and neighbors and everybody else who needs to know.
Mission, oh, this says poor connection.
I'm sorry. You should probably move closer to where the church is so that you can have a better connection.
Is it mine? That says.
Don't know. It could be mine. It could be you. It could be who knows. It's hard to tell. You guys back down here. Everything's fine with me as far as I can tell. So, what happened to Eric? He just disappeared. There he is. What happened to you?
Oh, bad internet connection. It just kicked me out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll work with it. I'm still recording it, so hopefully I don't get kicked off. That's happened before, but all right. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and turn your volume down, Eric, and then I'll wave at you when it's time to come back in, okay? All right. Did anybody have the practice? Okay, so here we go. Letter A is 0.6 and B is 60%. C is 4/5. D is 80%. E is 1/5. F is 0.2. G is 0.75. H is 75%. I is 3/25. J is 12%. K is 1/20. L is 0.05.
Check mark. I got check mark too.
Okay. All right, Brianna and Emma. I marked it in here. All right, Brianna, one away from a half lesson pass. You are, so. All right, so you guys are in now, Katie and Eric?
Mr. Jones, did you give me a check mark?
I did. I gave both of you, but she's only one away. You're still 3 away. So
Yeah,
that's why I didn't say anything to you yet. All right, here we go. Lesson 98.
Jones, I didn't do the lesson.
You didn't do the lesson? Okay.
Full lesson pass.
You're going to use a pass?
Yeah, full lesson pass.
Okay, go ahead and just tear it up. Yep. Thank you.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to use a pass too.
Okay, do you have it with you?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. All right. Emma, you got yours?
Yeah, I got mine.
I think you're the only one. All right. So here we go. Number 1 is 8. 2 is cylinder. 3 is 1/4. 4A is 3/4, and B is 75%. Number 5 is 48. Number 6 is 250%. Number 7 is 80%. 8 is 14 2/7%. 9 is 1. 10 is 0. 11 is 25. 12 is 40. 13 is 8. 14 is 0.55. 15 is 100. Okay, ready for 16? 16 is 0.03. 17 is $7.78. 18 is A is 80% and B is 85%. Number 19 is 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 squared. Number 20 is 12 cents. 21, it asks you to think of two different prime numbers and write them on your paper, then write the greatest common factor of the two prime numbers. And what did you come up with as the greatest common factor?
I think I did mine wrong. I think I did, yeah, I
What
did
two
mine
numbers did you
wrong.
pick? What two numbers did you
Yeah.
pick?
Yeah, I didn't do that. I did like where I did 2 and then a line and then what goes into 2 one time.
Oh,
Like-
yeah, you didn't do it correctly, that's for sure. Should have picked two prime numbers. If you had picked any two prime numbers, let's say 7 and 13, the highest, the greatest common factor among, when you have all prime numbers, is always going to be 1, because that's the only number that's the same amongst prime
That's
numbers.
the
So,
answer I got. I got 1.
yeah, but I don't know how'd you get 1?
Because so I picked 2 and 5
Okay.
and then I got into them 1 over and 2 and then 1 and 5 and then
Oh,
I saw
you're
the
correct.
answer. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's correct then. You did it exactly the way you're supposed to do it. Good job. All right, here we go. Number 22 is 50 centimeters. 23 is 32. 24A is 3/5 and B is 60%. 25A is 3/20 and B is 0.15. 26A is 0.3 and B is 30%. 27, you should have a line that's basically 1 1/4 inches, and you make a dot halfway through it, which would be about at I don't know. Let's see when it would be at 5/16 or something like that. No, 5/8 I think is where it would be. 5/8 mark. But anyway, if it's split halfway, you're good. Number 28 is 25%. Number 29 is less than. And then 30 is 1/2. I'm texting the other two.
I got 25.
All right, I will put it in there. And then 30 for Katie and Brianna for a pass. Andre hasn't had his math in the last. He hasn't had math in a while. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next lesson, lesson 99. Volume of a rectangular prism. This is actually pretty easy, volume of rectangular prism. When you are talking about the volume of a three-dimensional figure, you're talking about how many little cubes, you know what a little cube is, right? How many little cubes will fit like this, okay? How many of these will, if you pretend that this is a 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cube, in the particular example that they give you, or we'll just, yeah, so 1 inch, they're asking you how many of these will fit in a box that is 5 inches wide, and so it'd be 5 of these this way, and then 3 inches this direction, and then 4 inches tall. So you'd get, what you're doing is you're finding the area, bless you, finding the area, and then multiplying it times the height. So it's a pretty simple process. All right, so if you look at the example there, it says how many sugar cubes 1 inch on an edge would be needed to form this rectangular prism. So what we're saying is a sugar cube that is 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. So it's a perfect cube. And it says how many of those will fit into that rectangular prism. And of course, 1 inch, if it is 5 inches, long and 3 inches wide, and then 4 inches high, what is the volume? Well, you multiply 5 times 3, and you get 15, and you multiply by 4, and you get 60. Now, here's the thing with volume. So I'll do this. This gives you your area, right? This gives you your area, 5 times 3. Okay, that's the bottom of the box. That's your area. Then you got to multiply by the height. And so we take that, we've got 15 square inches as your answer there, right? 15 square inches. Then you take your 15 square inches and you multiply by 4 inches. All right, so what's your answer going to be?
60
60 square inches.
60 what, though?
square inches.
No, it's not square inches. Square is always for
Sugar
flat area.
cubes.
Well, not sugar cubes. They're in inches, so we can go ahead and say inches.
Oh, 60 cube.
Yeah, 60 inches cubed. And how would you think you make the cube? So we make 60
3.
inches. Yeah, with a 3, because you already have 2 here. Well, hello, guys. You already have 2 here, and then here's another one. That's your third one. And so it's going to end up being, when you're doing volume, 60 inches cubed. Okay? So every time you're doing volume, it's going to be whatever the measurement is cubed, because you're multiplying it 3 different measurements together. You're multiplying inches times inches times inches, or centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, or whatever it is. It's going to be there. Okay? Andre and Juliana, not sure what happened, Juliana. You were there for a while, and then you kept disappearing. But you'll have to go back, and you know that you can get the video on the chat room, right? Hello, are you listening? I see one head nodding, but I don't see Andre's nodding.
Oh yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. So let me make a bigger picture of you and get you guys closer. All right. So yeah. So anyway, so that's every time you do volume, it's always going to be in cubes. That's why they describe them as cubes, like sugar cubes. Perfect blocks is what you're fitting in there. All right. So any questions on that? All right, well, let's look at this then. Look at example 2 in your book there. Example 2 says, what is the volume of a cube whose edges are 10 centimeters long? Now, what is it about this one that's different than the other ones?
All the length, width, and height are the same.
Yeah, everything's the same. So you're just going to multiply 10 times 10 times 10. All right, and so when you do that, what are you going to get as an answer?
1,000 cube. I mean,
yeah, so it's going to be, yeah, so it's 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters. So you have, these are all being multiplied together, and really all you have to do is, these are all 1, so you put 1 and then the 3 zeros behind them. So you have 1,000, and then it's 3 centimeters being multiplied together, so cubic centimeters. And that's how you pronounce it. It's cubic centimeters. The reason that square is called squared is because it's 2-dimensional. A cube is a 3-dimensional figure, and that's what we're talking about now. Sound pretty easy?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a question, Eric? Eric, you have a question? Oh, Eric, you have a question? He's not listening. Eric. Eric. Eric?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me. Good. Did you have any questions or no?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right. So I'm going to turn my camera off, and then I'll write the problem up. Get your whiteboards ready.
What the? My whiteboard is so big. jokes.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here it comes. I'll tell you afterward in case you can't see it very well. Okay, it's 7 inches length, 9 inches width, 3 inches height. 7, 9, and 3.
Mr.
Hold on
Jones.
1 second. Yeah, I see you. I believe that is correct. And I can't see what, Andre, what's your number? Yeah, that is correct. Okay. Correct, Brianna. Correct, Katie. Correct, Juliana. Did you guys have the right, label though? Brianna and Katie, did you have the right label?
I had inches.
All right. Inches cubed. Okay. And you correct. All right.
Mr. Jones, did I
What?
send you those pictures of the rough draft and the brainstorm?
I have no idea. Hold on, let me check. You mean like you're talking about on your message from your mom?
Yeah.
Let me go back and look. Hold on. If you sent it over the weekend, I have no idea. You might have.
I sent it today.
Oh, I haven't gotten it today. No. What I got
Really?
today was a picture of your. You know what you sent me? You sent me a
What?
picture of your brainstorm and your
Yeah.
rough draft. Is that that's not what you just asked me, was it?
I did. That's what
Oh, I thought you meant your rough draft for your paper for your science fair project. Yes, I did get those.
Because it said it was a missing assignment, and so.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll put it in there. Now your sister asked me if I had gotten hers, but she was talking about something different. She was talking about science fair project. That's all right. Okay, so we all good then there? Any questions on anything? All right. Juliana and Andre, again, just go ahead back and look at the video afterward, and then you can figure out what your score is and then send me the score on it, and then whether you got a check mark on your practice if you did the practice. Eric, I need to text your mom. Or do you even care?
What?
Do I need to text your mom? I don't?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Let's
Yeah.
see. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead, and I won't today, but make sure that you make up that assignment, please. Let's look at language. You guys have a couple of quizzes that you got inside your packet, and you have a test coming up, for which I'm sure you are excited about. Absolutely 100% positive you're excited about. That's the wrong class. You guys remember this from last year?
What?
Where you had to name every word to see what part of speech it was?
Oh yeah. I can't see it. It was blurry.
Oh, that's all right. Sorry. All right, so language. Language.
I'll be so bad at them. I'll get bad scores on.
Dude,
All
I
right.
got the worst.
All right, page 160.
159.
And 159 as well on the bottom, yes. We did 159 together at the top. So look at think E. Was any of this for points? Remind me.
Yes, it was.
All of it?
No, besides using verbs. Yeah.
Everything except for using verbs. Okay. All right, here we go. So let's look at think E. And number 1, each of these are 1 point per thing you're supposed to mark. Okay. So number 1, suitcase is DO, attendant is OP. Number 2, Ashley is DA. The ransom of Red Chief, the whole thing is a DO. Number 3, questions is a DO, class is OP. Number 4, Daniel is DA. Aunt Ella is IO, and poem is DO. And then number 5, DO over medal. Okay. Next page. All right.
Oh, wait,
Yes,
never mind.
ma'am.
Never mind.
Okay.
I thought I turned over 2 pages instead of 1, and I thought I didn't do it.
Oh, that would have been scary, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So 1, 2, and 3 go in this order, and then 4, 5, and 6 follow the same order. So it's verb, complete thought, sentence, or subject. Verb, complete thought, subject. All right. So number 1 is missing a verb. Number 2 is missing a complete thought. Number 3 is missing a subject. Number 4, verb. Number 5, complete thought. And number 6, subject.
Mr. Jones, what was 4 and 5?
4 was verb and 5 CT. All right. All right. So now evens only on page 160, capitalization, punctuation then. All right. Number 1. All right. See, each of these is going to be worth half a point. Okay. So number 1, you should have a comma after is. I should be capitalized right after that. Then a comma after believe. Then a comma after 1.
Mr. Jones, number 2.
Yeah, I know. I'm just testing you. Okay. All right, here we go. Number 2. Doctor should be capitalized. There should be a period after doctor. Lawrence should be capitalized. T should be capitalized. And there's a period after T. And then Chambers should be capitalized. Lima should be capitalized. A comma after Lima. Ohio should be capitalized. A comma after Ohio. All right. Any questions on that one?
You missed one thing, Mr. Jones. What if you missed one thing? Is it like a half point or what?
Each individual thing is half a point. Yeah.
That's all.
Just put an X on each one you miss, and then you can mark it. Anybody put anything extra? Okay. Number 4. So you should have underlined Los Angeles Times. All right, that's one thing, just the underline for Los Angeles Times. And then you should have capitalized Los Angeles Times. All right, and then Wednesdays, Fridays should both be capitalized. All right, number 6, there should be a comma after skier, and Nathan should be capitalized. Number 8, Aunt Helen's Kirby should all be capitalized. Helen's should have an apostrophe between the N and the S. And then Vietnam War should both be capitalized and a comma after war. All right. So let me get your grades. All right, Eric, how many did you miss?
Wait. 6. I missed
6. Okay. Juliana?
5.
Okay. Andre?
2.5.
Emma?
7.
Katie?
3.
And Brianna?
9.5.
Okay. All right, so let's look at that bottom part. Did I tell you not to do the using verbs yet? Or did I tell you to do it?
You tell us to do that, yeah.
Okay, all right. So it says, this is what you're supposed to do is cross out the incorrect word. So number 1, raised and busted should be both crossed through. Number 2, lay. What's that?
I didn't see the last one.
Oh yeah, I know. Some of them have 2 in them, like number 5 also. So if you want to quickly do number 5 and number 4, you might want to look at those really quickly. Number 2 is lay. Number 3, sat, should be crossed through. Number 4, knowed and 8. Number 5, sat and blowed. Number 6, shined. Number 7, shrank. Number 8, begun. Number 9, growed. And number 10, done.
Mr. Jones,
Yes, ma'am.
you guys didn't have any Spanish tracks that are like in Spanish?
You know what? I totally forgot about it. I wrote it down and then I put that paper aside somewhere. So we probably do. I just, again, forgot to check. So I'll get those in for next week, though. Let me
Okay.
write it down again. Let me text Mrs. Jones right now so I can, she'll remember and she'll give it to me.
Okay.
All right. I just texted her. Okay. So let's do this. You guys have what happened? I accidentally shared a screen. I don't know why I did that. Let's do this. You guys have 2 quizzes there that you have in your book. All right. Quiz, I think, in your packet. I'm sorry, in your packet.
Oh, I think I left it downstairs.
Yeah, mine.
That's okay. You don't need it right now.
Okay.
If I did give you 2, I think that was a mistake, actually. No, it wasn't. It's quizzes 11 and 11. Maybe it's 10 and 11. Anybody have theirs there?
I have 9 and 10.
9, that's the one. Okay, so 9 and 10. All right, so that is correct. 9 and 10 is correct. All right, so 9 is direct objects and predicate nominatives. I'm going to let you do that one open book as well as quiz 10. Okay, so do those open book. You can send it to me at the picture if you want, or you can just put them back in the packet for next week to give back to me. Now, get your books out and get ready to mark these things that you need to study for your test because you're having a test tomorrow. In case you were wondering. All right. Or have something to write down with if you didn't have something to write down with. Waiting for Brianna to come back. There she is. The lifeguard again. Still a lifeguard. All right, here we go. So the first section would be like 141A. 141A. Words that you can use either as a noun or a verb. And you have to determine how it's used in the sentences that are there. The second part is worth 30 points. So you really want to focus on this. Make sure you get it correct. What it is like 144A, subject-verb agreement. Now, on last Friday, Emma had missed one particular one, and some of you did homework passes. So just to give you a heads up on this, if you have a subject that's a compound subject, but it uses the word or in between them, the subject then that is closest to the verb is what you decide whether it's singular or plural. So for instance, if I said, my brothers and I went to the store, okay, that would be correct because it's I went. I is singular, went is a singular verb. No, or I'm sorry. I said my brothers and I, it would be plural, which is went. That is all three of us that we'd be talking about. But if I tried to do it just my brothers or I, no, that would still be the same word, wouldn't it? Okay, let me try a different word. They had some from Friday's thing. If you look in your book, go to page, let's see where that was. Yeah, I remember Emma had asked me about that, why that was. Remember that, Emma?
Yeah.
You remember which one it was?
It was. Oh, it was on 158.4.
Oh, number 4. That's right. Okay. So number 4, it says either some keys or a coin is glittering in the sunlight. Because coin is a singular verb, and that's closest, and they use the word or between keys and coin. If you look on page 158 on Think B on number 4, coin is closest to the verb, which is or are, and it has to be is, because is a singular verb and coin is a singular noun or singular subject, because they are separated by the word or. If it was and, it would be plural, but it's not and, it was or there. So just to emphasize that, okay. So that's the second part of your test. The third part is 137E. We're going to give you some words at the end of the sentence, and you've got to use a form of that word.
Mr. Jones, that was last chapter.
We're on Unit 8.
Yeah.
Hold on. Am I giving you the wrong test?
Yeah. Well, because
Shouldn't be. Hold on.
The last subject.
No, this isn't. Hold on. Let me look. See what test I have. No, this is right. I know it may be from the last section, but they're testing you on it this time too. So 137E. Yeah, in fact, what happened was they have 2 sections for one test. That's what's going on here. So 137E, I think the reason was I had to go back because they didn't have anything from this last chapter. So I had to go back to the last chapter to give you an example. The next one, part 4, is 155C. 155C. All right. Part 5. Now, part 2 and part 5 together, those two are worth 55% of the test.
wait,
So
what?
you want to focus on part 2, which was 144A, and part 5.
144.
That was one of the things I gave you already.
Oh.
And then part 5, which is 148A.
Wait, what?
Those two. Part 5, 148A. Those two together are worth 55% of your test. So you'll want to do well on that. Now this one's going to be a little bit more difficult because you're basically underlining the subject and then the verb and then circling the complement. Okay. Now complement can be, what is, Katie, tell me one of the complements. Katie? Are you trying to think of one?
Yeah,
You're not trying to think of one?
I am.
Oh, okay. How about you, Juliana? Can you name one? Your stunned silence is very reassuring. What about you, Brianna? Can you tell me what a compliment is? It's when you say something nice about somebody. Different
I know.
compliment.
It's a meaning begun by the subject and verb.
Close, not too far off. Go ahead, Andre. Tell him. Give me
It's
one
a
example of one. Just give me one example of one, Andre.
Are you sing a hymn of praise?
Say again. Not in a sentence. Just tell me. There are three that we've studied that are called compliments. Give me one of those three. Katie, you know?
A, and the.
No, those are articles. Those are articles. That's different. Brianna, you know?
One of them is linking.
No, that's a verb. That's a type of verb.
Oh.
Emma, do you know? Or Eric?
It's a completer.
It is a completer. Yes, it completes a sentence. It's a good thing I asked this question because some of you really need to know this. If you look at 148A, what you'll find out is they want you to fill in the complements. The complements are the predicate nominative. Somebody moving their paper in there. Okay. Predicate nominative, direct object, and indirect object are the three complements that we've studied so far. Okay. So that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be circling those. All right. Does that make sense? So study that if you're not sure of it. And then the last part is diagramming. You have 4 sentences from the ones that you're doing in the sentence parts that you're going to do diagramming for. All right?
On what? What page?
Page. What do you mean what page? Oh, diagramming. We did diagramming. Well, actually, hold on a second. Where did we do diagramming? Not too long ago. It was
Indirect
we did it on
objects?
page
Was it-
151. Is where all the different diagrams are for the type of things that we're doing. Predicate nominatives, direct objects, indirect objects. The indirect object is on page number 154, but the other ones are on page 151. So that's where the other diagramming things are. Okay. Now, Eric, what time did you get up today?
Early,
Early being what?
like 5, 6.
You got up at 5 or 6 this morning for what?
Same.
Doing stuff. I thought it was Saturday, so I thought I had to go to work.
You thought it was Saturday? Okay. You really have lost track of time, haven't you? I know with no church and anything, it really makes it hard, doesn't it? I assume that you all are doing church through like the internet or something like that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it was real short. Ours was only like an hour and like a few minutes, 43 minutes. It wasn't that long.
An hour and 43 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ours are about usually an hour and a half normally, and it was about a little bit over an hour.
Ours are usually 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to one where it was like 3 hours for Ukrainian church, and I didn't understand a word they were saying. So it made it a little bit difficult.
Mine is 4 hours.
4 hours at one time?
No, like almost all the time.
Oh, wow. That's difficult. All right. Well, let me see. For reading today, you guys, let's see what you have. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to remind the 5th graders of this, but you can let your sister know, and then Julian, you can let your brother know. So Sophia, if you could let your sister know, and I'll let the other ones know this. We're going to be doing oral reading grades tomorrow. Okay, so if you have your syllabus there, you'll see it's written there.
in the skill book. It says, yeah.
No, I realize that, but that doesn't mean everybody reads. But thank you all for reading. I appreciate that. So be ready. It'll be from the reading we're doing today. So if you have questions of how to pronounce something, Look at it, and if you want to look at it real quick, and then I can tell you some of those words or not. It'd probably be easier just for you to call me up or something like that. Or if you want to go ahead and ask maybe your mom or dad if they know how to pronounce it, that you could ask them how to pronounce it. What's that?
I have a sister
Yeah.
that is a language machine.
If you need my help, though, go ahead and give me a call, and then you just give me a list of words. So, all right.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Have a good day.
Zero.
Bye.
All right. See you tomorrow.
See you later.
Bye. Bye, guys.